Welcome back to the Unlock Potential podcast. On this week's episode, we have Lauren Scully, and she speaks to us about how she started in the fitness industry and how she deals with negative comments on her social media platforms. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for coming on, Lauren.
Oh, thanks for asking me to come.
So how did you get into personal training?
So it's a bit kind of random to start. So basically, I worked in restaurants for years, but I always loved the gym. And then in COVID, I was doing a course. And then because I lost my job in the restaurants, I started posting videos and stuff on my Instagram now. When I look back on those videos now,
And were they related to fitness?
Yeah, but I think I thought that I knew what I was doing. And honestly, I know they say everybody starts somewhere, but when I look back on the videos, I was doing live workouts in lockdown, and I think there was probably about 5 people tuning into the live, but I just kept going, and I used to write a little.
That probably grew your Instagram.
A little bit, yeah. And I feel the cooking ones did too, even though back then I don't think my cooking ones were very good. I was a bit obsessed with food.
You done cooking ones then as well, did you?
Yeah, but I think my mindset was completely different. So back then I would think okay, I had to eat as little as possible, and I had to be as skinny as possible to kind of be a PT. So if you look back on my videos of what I used to post, I even look back now and I'm oh my God, Lauren, how was that all that you were eating? And I don't think they did as well back then, because I'm sure if somebody was watching it, they were probably thinking, Jesus, I don't want to only eat that, you know what I mean? The food definitely wasn't what people kind of wanted to see back then. And I didn't look well. I definitely thought I did back then, but I think I definitely probably had body dysmorphia back then because I was literally so skinny. And if I look back on the videos of me trying to teach people how to do the workouts, oh my God.
Are they still all there?
Well, they're all deleted, but sometimes on Facebook, you know, I get those Facebook memories and it comes up and I'm oh my God.
Are your archives on, or archives?
Archives, yeah. And I'm literally in the hall of my house, and my body, when I'm doing some of the things, looks like I'm about to snap. It looks so scary. And I remember back then, I used to set, I had this sounds very vain, but I had a picture of a 6-pack, and I had it set as a screensaver on my phone, and I had 45 kg set as that. Because back then I had a coach, and I told him that I remember sending him a picture. I won't say the girl's name, but she's from Dublin. I remember being she looks amazing. I want to grow my glutes like her, and I want to have definition and blah, blah, blah. And he was to me, right, yeah, you just need to get skinnier first. You basically have to drop body fat first, so then when you start to gain,
then you maintain it.
Yeah,
I only learned a while ago what that meant.
But
that is,
and I agree with that sometimes. But back then, I definitely didn't need to do that. I was already tiny. I didn't even have any body fat to drop.
So you were when you were like that, he was telling you need to do those body fat.
Yeah, to get smaller. And I remember every time I was doing the check-ins, my mum and my dad kept being Lauren, you do not look well. And everybody around me kept asking.
And he still kept putting you in a deficit.
Yeah, and I was doing my course in Kinsealy to be a PT, and I remember it was COVID, and I remember the guy who was teaching the course actually asked my friend in the course, was I okay? Was I taking it all a bit too much? And I was to everybody,
thinking what he's teaching is making an impact on you.
Yeah.
And making you
making
this.
me get a bit obsessed with it. And I remember saying to everybody, I would get real annoyed of what he was on about. I'm just following this plan to a T, because I'm the type of person that if I say I'm gonna do something, I'll fully commit. So I was I remember this sounds so silly, but even if my dad was making a barbecue, he'd be oh well, I'll just put your chicken breast in the barbecue, I'd be no, because I needed to see how I was cooking things. I was obsessed. It just wasn't even funny back then. My dad's just you don't need to.
And how long did you do that for?
For the whole of COVID. So basically I was doing that during the pandemic, but because we didn't have access to a gym, what I was doing as well was I was going for a run. So part of my plan was that I would have to run until I burnt a certain amount of calories. So instead of going for time or distance, it was calories. But I've
never heard of that. It was
as you start to get more fit, it'll take you longer to burn the amount of calories.
Yeah.
So I was
your heart rate and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you're just like, you're fitter, so your body is not even burning as much. And I remember at one stage I was getting to 12 kilometers. That's how far I was running, because it was taking me.
What was the calories? Do you remember?
At the start, like, it was only like 265 calories, right? But and I remember I used to think, Jesus, what, like, why do I need to run this much? So I bought one of these straps that go around you, because I had my Fitbit at the time, and I was like, something wrong with this watch, because I just felt like I was just running all over the place, and I was like, there's definitely something wrong with this watch. There's no way.
Like, is that PT still around?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say his name, because loads of people have trained him. I know loads of girls have said that.
Like, what?
Yeah.
He sounds mad.
Yeah.
I've never heard of calories. Like,
it was for the calories, yeah. It was till I got to the calories. So I think it was something like 265 calories, like, and it was fasted in the morning. So like, I'd go out and I'd run, and then I'd come home and I'd have my oats and like my dark chocolate, my berries. I still eat those oats to this day. Like, love them.
Yeah, I feel like I started eating oats and I'm still eating
like
porridge or oats every morning.
Yeah, thank God he introduced me to those. I still have those to this day, but literally I'd come home and have that. And then because I was doing like training from home, like my weights were only like, I think I had like 10 kg like max in the dumbbells.
I remember during COVID everyone going into deals, and I went in as well.
They were all gone.
I missed our price and all the dumbbells.
Yeah,
everything deadly stuff. I went in and bought loads of stuff. I did.
Yeah. So I was doing the workouts at home, and I think I just got a bit obsessed, like, to be honest. Like, I think part of it was the guy's fault, the coach, but part of it was my own fault as well. Like, I don't blame him for it, and I definitely think, like, coming out from that, I suffered from binging, because when I came off his plan, I found it hard just to eat, like, just to have like a normal meal, because of the guilt. Like, I would eat something that, let's say, like, if I had a sandwich, for instance, like just a sandwich, I'd be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have that. Like, and I'd literally get obsessed. And then got to the point where if I had something, I'd make myself sick, because I was thinking, oh God, I shouldn't have ate that. Or I'd have to go and do a run or train or do something. And that kind of lasted.
And what was your, with him, like, was your calories, but like, what was your deficit like?
So my calories were like, I think like on some of the days they were like 1,400, and then like
I'm in a deficit. Like, I'm doing it with who I was doing it now. Like, but like my deficit was 1,700. Is that never too low? Even in a deficit.
Like, I would never give any of my girls at the moment 1,200. Sometimes I get girls.
That's what you had.
No. I think it was around like 1,400. But if you think about the training I was doing, so like my steps were through the roof. I was running, and I was doing
this every day you had
training.
To run?
Yeah, and I was running every single day. I don't think I ever
was that in your plan.
It was in my plan. Every single day was the cardio. So if you think about that, I was in a massive deficit. I lost my time in a month and everything. Like, everything was gone. Like, I just looked awful if I look back on it now. Like, literally, like, my moods, I was such a cranky little bitch. Like, I literally, like, I remember my mom and everybody just being like, what is wrong with you? But I honestly just thought, right, if I want to be a PT, this is what I need to do. So anyways, I did that.
And I feel like it is. That's why I was only talking to someone the other day. Like, the pressure of being a personal trainer, you need to look good if you're gonna like.
Now I feel like it's changed now. I feel like a lot of the time now, like, people, they come to you because they believe in you, or they see you have gone through the same thing as them, and they come to you for like the mindset work. I would say, like, if you're a coach now, like, a lot of your job is mindset. Like, when you're doing the check-ins, I feel like I'm a life coach sometimes now. I'm not qualified to be a life coach, but I mean, like, when I'm doing a check-in, like, I'm not just talking about someone's fields. Like, that's the end part. Do you know what I mean? And the training, everybody can do the training. Like, that's not the main part. A lot of people struggle because their why is not big enough, or they don't like identify their why. Do you know what I mean? Like, they say, okay, I want to lose weight, but you have to get to the bottom of that. Like, why? And how is that going to make you feel if you do? And I try to get people to move like away from the scales, because I feel like myself, I was so fixated on the scales, and I don't know why I thought like 45 kg. Like, who even said the girl in the picture with the 6-pack on my phone was 45 kg? Like, why did I think that 45 kg was this magic number that I needed to get to? I got to 49 and I looked anorexic. Like, I remember going to the doctors because of my time in a month, and I remember the nurse it was actually in like Northside or something in the doctors.
The well woman.
Yeah, and I remember asking her, and I was like, and she was like, "You're one of the only people who actually got really skinny in COVID." She was laughing at me when I went in, and she was like, "I feel like you just need to eat a bit more, and it'll come back." But yeah, that was my COVID story.
That obviously, wasn't healthy at all. Like
No.
to lose your period and all. Yeah, like,
no, and
mad.
mine is still a bit like messed up now from that. Like I've got it back. I got it back. So I moved to Dubai then, and I actually did like a marketing job in Dubai, because I wanted to move like away from the PT. I did a bit of coaching online, but I kind of was coming away from that, and I did marketing instead for like a skincare company, really random. And then I went back to the gyms in Dubai. I tried the marketing job for like 3 months, and I was like, right now, Lauren, this isn't for me. And I went back to like the gyms and being like with the people in the gym and listening to the lads and giving my body like proper feel done me the world of good. Oh my God. Like I feel like it literally like shifted my mindset completely. I lived with a girl as well who was doing exactly the same as me, and watching her actually just eat foods, I was like, oh my God, like this is the best thing ever. Because I always was just under the impression that you need to eat as little as possible, or like I think it's from listening to people online as well about like dieting and stuff, and the 1200 diet, everybody was like raving about that a couple of years ago. People
1200. Oh, like that's the calories that you're meant to eat.
But people used to constantly, I used to see that was massive on TikTok, and
I think
see,
a
like,
big thing as well,
girls.
like especially when you're starting off, I done that, and I know loads of people that like oh, it's in me calories, I can eat that. Or like, as in like, once you could have
Demi,
about 2-3 chocolate bars.
I used to be in college doing my marketing degree, right? In the summers, I used to go to Ibiza, and I used to be like, right, I need to get super, super lean for like ocean, and I want to look unreal in a bikini. So on the run up to my holiday, like 3 months before, I'd be working as like a waitress, and I would only eat something if I could scan it into my fitness pal. Like this is how obsessed I was.
I was doing that as well.
Even going to your man, like this is when I kind of looked healthy, because I wasn't in a deficit for a long enough time. Like I would only do it for, let's say, like a month or two before I went away, and I wouldn't be sticking to it on the weekends. I definitely was going out on the weekends, so I was sticking to it from Monday to Friday, and I'd be like scanning it in, and I'd be like, right, I have to stick to this 1200. And I remember like my manager in work at one stage was like, do you not eat? And I was like, I do eat, but I'd had like a lunchbox with like a couple of slices of like cold salmon and lettuce, and there'd be no sauce or nothing on it, and I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm eating. I'm sure she must have thought like, this one's mad. And I'd go away and I'd look lean for my holiday, and then I'd come back and it'd be winter, and I'd put the weight back on because I didn't care, because I was gone back to college. And I just did that again and again and again and again until I actually properly like learned and worked in a gym that like, come on, like that's not very healthy, like
that you can't
so
do.
Mad.
And that's what I was saying. Like there's so many like people when they get into trying to lose weight or like that, like they'll hear like the word calories, and then they get told what calories, but they don't understand. They're like what exactly what you actually need to eat. They'll think like, oh, I'll have like 3 bars of chocolate and that's me calories, that's fine, when it's not. Like obviously you need your protein, your fats, and like, and I feel like that's a lot that people don't understand. That with someone who does personal training, I'd say for you've heard that like years ago, where someone is only getting into that, they don't understand that. Like,
do you know what, like people would go to my Instagram and they'd be like, obviously like on some of my videos, or the comments I guess sometimes is like, this is common sense, is she for real? I'm like, guys, this is what people
I was looking at some of your
like, this is what people are coming to me that they genuinely don't understand. Maybe and it's you people understand are commenting that. I'm like, maybe you're grand, but you don't have those struggles that somebody else is, and you're not the person who I'm talking to. So see you later. Like I often to be like, some people do not understand that. I think I put something before about chicken and the difference of chicken, and they're like, oh duh. And I was like, no, honestly, I get clients come to me and they don't know the difference in like having a thigh or a chicken breast. They just, because it's the way they're brought up, they don't understand that that's not like lean chicken. Do you know what I mean? And people don't
I don't even know what you're on about. What do you mean lean chicken?
As in like,
see, that's the thing that I probably don't even know.
Like if I said to someone, have like chicken, they think that they can just go to Tesco's and they just pick up a packet of chicken. But what I'm trying to say is just get a lean chicken breast. So like normal chicken breast. Don't get a chicken thigh, don't get a chicken drumstick, chicken this, chicken that. But some people don't understand that. And I know that might be common sense.
I would only know that like people. Obviously just don't get one with batter on it that are like loads of seasoning and stuff.
Yeah, but if you were literally to just get a chicken breast again, you're bringing down the calories and there's more protein in that rather than going for the thighs that have the skin and the fat in it. Do you know what I mean? But some people don't understand that.
That's what I was saying to my friend. I was like, 'cause she's trying to get into social media with like her job. And I was like, you need to be putting up videos like things about like talking about macros. Because I only probably learned that about 2 years ago. And like that's what she was like, yeah, but Demi, everyone knows that. And I'm like, no, someone actually only turned around to me yesterday saying like talking about that she can have all these things of sugar because it's in our calories.
And you know what I think the problem is? As a PT, you're surrounding yourself with PTs. So you're listening to all these people. So when you come out with something like just talking about chicken or water, something like that, like that's second nature to us. It's common sense. But that's because you're looking at all these PTs. Like Barbara down the road probably doesn't understand that. Do you know what I mean? And the majority of the people who I work with are moms, and they've gone through their whole life thinking that they need to eat as little as possible, and they've gone to Slimming World or Weight Watchers.
I feel like older people are, well, like obviously they think they're like way ahead, but when it comes to things like that, they are a bit behind.
Yeah, I think so anyways. But how do we even get into that?
Just
talking about chicken. That's just the first thing that came to my head there. But I think I was saying I was working away for a while. I was talking about
chicken or batter chicken.
Yeah, like talking about chicken. I was doing marketing in Dubai and I didn't like it, and then I got into gyms, and I feel like the gym like properly like changed my mindset, and then I realised that like to train,
seeing other people being in a good like shape and seeing what they're having is probably like, do you know, you're probably looking at me like, I can actually eat more. Yeah, it's all right. Like,
so, and I feel like as well, like sometimes you think, okay, I need to eat like as little as possible. And I'm not saying that like none of the diets work. They do work, but the problem is that's a diet. Like, so you're going to regain the weight when you come off that. I think people have to be looking at the bigger picture. They need to change their actual lifestyle. Like, if you're going on a holiday and you want to look a little bit more lean and do a cut, okay, do that, but then you're happy enough to go back to your normal standard when you come home. But like, if you want to be a healthier you can't just do it for a month and then expect that, okay, I'm going to be grand. Do you know that way?
Yeah, I tried all the like, well, I always jump into things for about a week, like the keto diet or what's the intermittent fasting. I think I was like, I got the app and it was like an 18-hour fast, and I was like, I'm on my holidays in about a week, I don't care, down it.
And soon as you go on holidays, it's gone out the window.
Yeah, I know, it's mad. How would you like, what would help you to, like, if you get cravings and stuff like that? I find that hard myself. Like, I can't have one square of chocolate. But then half the time if I'm working from home or everything like for you would be like working from your laptop, probably for working from home, would it?
I have a proper like structure and routine, and I'm like a creature of habit. So like I eat pretty much like similar meals each day, but that's just me. Even if I go to a different country, I kind of like know the things I like and I stick to that. Like I love food, so like I'll experiment. Like I've been eating like soft shell crab and all. Like I like mad food. Like people probably are like, what's she on about? But I like having like loads of different foods. But on a day-to-day basis, like I would have my oats, and because there's chocolate in my oats, like I'm satisfied by that, you know, that way. And then I'd have like people to say, oh, you shouldn't have a protein bar is bad for you. But the way that I see it is I'm craving chocolate.
Might as well get your protein in as well.
Might as well get my protein in.
Who says? I've never heard of that.
Oh, I get it all on Instagram. You see them all.
That protein bars are bad for you.
Everything's bad for you. I think everything in moderation.
Sure, apparently looking in the microwave, you'll get cancer. While your food's
everything. I think I put up a video yesterday
of
a video yesterday of a Coke Zero and a Caesar salad.
I've seen that.
And I got some woman sending me a whole like thing in my mails about how bad Diet Coke is, because
it's probably a better option.
You need to drink over like 30 cans of those a day for that to even have any effects. And even at that, those tests are done on rats, they're not done on people, so they still don't even know. There's no proof. So people will obviously say something about everything. Like at the end of the day, the one thing that I try to focus on for clients is like, they're coming to me for fat loss, to be in a calorie deficit. So I try to not make their life miserable of getting themselves into a calorie deficit. Like I try to make sure they're having things that they actually enjoy. Otherwise, they're going to hate the process. And when they finish, they're going to give up and they're going to put the weight back on. And if somebody wants to have a bit of chocolate, Jesus, eat a bit of chocolate. There's worse things out there for you.
I'm one of them that'll have a bit and then I'll like go back.
See, that's what I think that people don't get right. People say, all right, you should have control. But I'm not being funny. And I got debt on this as well. I fully stand by myself on this one. Because I have control. I'm like done this and I would consider myself very disciplined. But if you give me a large bar of caramel or something like that, come on, that stuff is made to make you want to eat the whole bar. Anybody that eats 2 squares of that and puts it back in the fridge, fair play to them, because I'm not doing that. So then I say to people, don't do that to yourself. Just buy a normal size bar or get the dark chocolate.
Now I'm eating dark chocolate. When I started it, I hated it. But now
you build up a tolerance to it.
I love dark chocolate, so I'd happily eat loads of it.
Have you ever had the salted caramel one from Lidl?
If I keep getting anything nicer, I'll eat more of it. So I'm like, I need to get rid of me craving. Like if I get something nice, I keep going back for more.
Oh, bang. No, I love chocolate. I don't think I'll ever change my thing on chocolate. And that's why I say sometimes to girls that like, let's say if they're trying to lose weight, right? And if they absolutely love chocolate, I would rather them reduce their carbs in one of the meals and save themselves some extra calories to have the thing they actually like, the chocolate. Because realistically, some people don't like having rice. They're just having it.
I feel like my thing is like, after I have me breakfast, right, overnight oats a bit, like a bit of sugar in it. After me lunch, it's like, oh my God, I need like sugar. Like I do you know what's great? Jelly pots. Some 4 calories.
Now I prefer to make it myself because you get more of it. Do you ever just make it with the kettle? But what I do I put it in the freezer, right? And this sounds very weird.
I think I've seen it.
But when you put it in the freezer, it's like ice when it comes out. It only takes, so you don't have to do this overnight thing. I'm so impatient. Like I literally put it in the freezer for an hour. I could be doing my check-ins and then I go back and I get, oh my God, it's absolutely unreal. And you can put like your berries on top or something, like the frozen ones. Again, I like them frozen. People think that's weird, but I actually just
frozen.
I love it. And I love the jelly frozen. I don't know why. I feel like I'm just getting
I've had a few frozen ones and I'm like, they're actually alright.
Yeah.
So what way I seen your snack box idea that you put up?
Yeah.
Like,
see, what I find for people is, okay, they like snacking, right? But some people snack and they just mindlessly snack all day, right? And what you're doing is they're getting like instant gratification from the snacks, whereas, and then they're just constantly, let's say if somebody brings in biscuits to the office, they'll have one and then they have another one and then they'll pick it this and before they know it, they're probably after consuming loads of calories in those snacks. Whereas if they actually just thought at the start of the day, right, and they were realistic with themselves and they said, right, I know I'm going to snack, but at least have it a bit controlled. So make the snack box at the start. And if you are looking at something, you know, I'm only allowed to have what's in that box, then you're going to space it out. It's like if you only had €20 to go out on a night out, you'd be spacing your drinks out and you'd be slowing down. Do you know what I mean?
It's a mentality thing.
It's a mentality thing. So I find it works for people. I keep saying to people, like, be realistic with yourself. It's like, I often get girls and they come on board and they're like, right, I'm not going to drink it all for the whole time. I'm like, really? Like, do you not have anything on? I'm like, come on, like, we can factor it into the plan. I tried that
for a few weeks and then you'll be like, one night.
Yeah, I said that at the start of the year. I'm never ever going to drink again. I lasted 6 months and then I had like...
I don't even enjoy drinking anymore. I get the fear.
No, I don't, but I feel like you just shouldn't say to yourself, never, ever, ever again. Like, I barely ever drink now and it's nothing got to do with the calories. It's more got to do with the way I feel the next day.
That's what I'm like. I don't know
how I used to do it, but Jesus, I feel
even
like
a few drinks, I'd feel it. I feel like it sets you back. Like, by the time it's Thursday, then you're like back to yourself.
And I think it's because we don't drink that often that it really affects you when you do. Because I look at my dad and he's grand. He can go up to the hotel. Like, we live in Tanvay, so he can pop down to the hotel, have his couple of pints and come back, and he's up at 5 the next morning to go to work. You do that to me, and I'm like,
me stepped out with a bottle of wine.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, how are you like up at 5 o'clock in the morning?
It literally writes me right off. Like, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many I have. I still feel like it just makes me drained. So I just try to cut it out. But I just say to clients that, like, if they're going to a wedding, like, don't be saying to yourself you're never going to have anything. Just try to cap it off at 4. It's the same with the food. Stop having like the all or nothing approach. A lot of people have like a start and a finish, or they have this on switch and then an off switch, and it's like they're on their diet, and then if they eat something, they're off their diet, and then they start back on Monday. Whereas if you just recognise, right, yeah, probably shouldn't have ate that, and then just move on from the next thing
I
you eat.
do that sometimes. I'll have some, and then I'm like, oh, I'm after reckoning it. And then I just
like, I'll eat everything.
yeah, and then I have more, and then I make myself feel even worse then.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, oh, it doesn't even matter. Give me the whole packet.
I
Like,
do this thing
that.
with people. I tell them to set themselves a timer on their phone for 20 minutes. So say if you're craving something, like say if you're watching Netflix,
I
right?
eat the whole fridge.
Yeah. Say if you're watching Netflix and you're like, I really want to eat that, right? I would set a timer on your phone for 20 minutes. In the 20 minutes, you're giving yourself time to think, and you're thinking about it. By the end of the timer goes off, you're probably like, oh, I don't even want that anymore.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't work every time. I say to people, if you still want to eat it, for God's sake, like, it's not the end of the world. But I just try to think, like, just have a little bit of control. It comes down to discipline. Again, it comes down to, if your goal is big enough, you will push yourself. Like, you will. Like, you probably don't have any big goal. Like, I'm sure if you knew that you were going away
I'm going away on Tuesday. And I'm like,
you probably focus a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like with like stress or procrastinating, Ollie. Like, do you know, if I that's what, when I'm working and then I'm like, oh, I'll go get something while I do that.
Yeah.
We don't even end up you can't even do that while you're eating.
know.
And then you'll eat that, and then if you want to say it, you're like, what else is there?
I know. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like sometimes at home there's certain things that I just won't
try
buy.
walking the library. Because you know, when you obviously you probably like
see, I record myself, so because I have to record myself, I used to always go to Starbucks and stuff, but like I physically record myself talking to somebody. So what I would do first of all is I'd go somewhere and I'd write my notes out, and then I'd go home and record myself. Do you know what I mean? Because I used to do it from coffee shops, but it's too loud now, and I'm being very personal with people that I feel like it's probably not very nice for them to see me in Starbucks giving them a proper response. Do you know what I mean? They're probably like, what is she doing? But yeah,
that's what I try to get out of the house, like go to the library or just go. Now that I have a second location, I actually have my own office. I'm like, that's great now, just get out of the house, bring the food that I'm in to eat, and that's all I'm eating.
That's it. Yeah,
that does help. But when I think it's working from home, that was kind of like the worst for me.
When I used to live in Dubai, it was so easy, because even if you were like telling yourself, I'm not going to buy that in the shop because I'm not going to eat that, you go home and it's just a click of a button. And it's just in your house. Like whatever you want from the shop, you can order just like a Magnum. You don't have to even have a minimum spend. Anything you want. I remember one time I was staying in my ex's and I needed a straightener. I forgot my straightener, and you can just press it.
Oh yeah, you can order someone to your door to get your nails done.
Yeah,
isn't it?
You can get a straightener. I remember you got a straightener that came with curler parts and all, delivered to your apartment in a half an hour.
That is mad.
Like, it's mad.
How are they making their money on that?
I don't know, because the straightener was only €50, and it's actually a very good one. I still have it now.
So you bought it?
Yeah, but I mean,
ordered. I meant as in like a rental.
It comes literally like so quickly. It's like it comes within a half an hour. So let's say if you're at home and you're like, oh no, I forgot my shower gel. 2 minutes, there you go, there's your shower gel. Do you know what I mean? And it just comes to the point where I remember I used to be ordering stupid things, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, well, I eat this, and then it's up, and like, we used to live above a shop as well, so it was even faster, and it says the time on the app as well, so you could get things in 10 minutes.
That is mad. Like a hair straightener, no, that's crazy. Mad. And you paid for that for, like, it wasn't rental, you bought
No, but I still have it now. It's probably one of the best ones I've ever bought. It's better than my GHD, and I only got it on an app. Like, literally, I literally just pressed the thing and it came. It's mad.
Yeah, so you're just basically all online now, aren't
all
you?
Online, yeah.
Yeah. So do you find that? I'd say that's so handy, is it?
It is, because you get to move about, like, and it's great. It can get very lonely though, because like although you're like talking to people all day because you're doing your check-ins, you're still by yourself. Like, you're not working with anybody.
No Christmas parties.
No, and it's only me.
Would you not have staff?
No, at the moment, no. I probably should, but I'm just so like I have like a really good like relationship with like my girls, and I feel like I don't want to give that to somebody else. Oh, I have a good few. Like, I have like over 100 at the moment. Like,
how do you do all the 100?
I don't have a life. I literally, that is my life. I bring my laptop everywhere. I probably will say, like, people keep saying I do need to hire people. I'm going to start like group coaching, so I can coach like more people at the same time. I know I need to hire people, but it's my baby at the moment, and I just cannot. Like, the worst thing that I hate is I don't want it to become like a robot. Like, I genuinely want to help people, so I don't want it just to become as if somebody random is texting them back on a chat. Like, I like to actually send like a voice note back to my girls. Like, let's say if they're going out on a night out the weekend and they want to like calorie bank for the weekend, I will send them a voice note and help them. Do you know what I mean? So I just feel like I'm just not ready to give it away to some. Now I know I need to, if I want to grow, I have to hire somebody. And like, I have a business mentor and he keeps saying like, oh my God, like, and I've had people like DM me to ask me if I was hiring, because I put up I was fully booked and girls are like, oh, I'll help you, blah, blah, but I don't know. I feel like loads of people are like that when they're in business. Like, I've been doing this a year now, I think, like, and I've only kind of like properly like, are you only doing this a year? Yeah, because before I was working for like a gym.
Always doing online coaching years now.
No, I was face to face. So I started off doing it in Crumlin. I was doing I was training people in a field basically in COVID, and then we went like into the gym and all. I started off then, and I probably had like 5 girls online or something back then, but I wouldn't say I was an online coach. I literally just did that on the side kind of thing. And then in Dubai I would have had like maybe like 10 girls on online, but most of my clients were face to face. And I used to teach all the classes. Like, I used to love teaching the classes, put on the songs, and I'd be like jumping around the class. Like, I used to love that. If I could do that here again, I probably would, if I wasn't as busy, because I actually genuinely just enjoy the classes. So like fully online is only in the last year. Before then I didn't have my app or anything like that. It wasn't done the way I do it now.
App and all now? Yeah. Is that True Coach?
It's through another company. No, I actually...
Their own app,
Yeah, so I have like all of my own recipes from my recipe book and all. I have videos of me actually like doing the workouts as well. Like, there's a lot on it. Like,
that's good,
Yeah, no, it is great. Like, is
that hard to set up the app?
Yeah, well, it's
long,
expensive.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I went down a different route, but I've have to invest in so much in it now, and like all my information is on it that I feel kind of attached to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's loads of things that I could be doing, but I feel like I'm so set in my way that I find it hard to like move away from it. Like, the app looks so good from a client's point of view. Like, it's really 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 professional. It's not like you're giving somebody a Google Doc, although I know that that's probably all that somebody really needs sometimes. I feel like the app
I've used a few of them, like the Excel sheets that people don't like
mine is like, I would give like 7 different options for breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks each, and then they can add, so they can pick their meals for the week and they can add them to a shopping list, and it makes them a list from my recipes and tells them what to go and get in the shop. So like, it's so good. Yeah. And then like, I have like a library of lessons. Like, this is why I'm so attached to it as well, that I've recorded of like random things, like going out for like a meal, your time in a month, nutrition, like loads of random things, and it sends it to them along their journey.
I've done online coaching like now. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason why I don't know about 3 people, but I feel like I hate even saying that, because it's like I'm jumping around or something. Like, and it's not. But
I've got coaches myself. I'm a coach, and I've got coaches myself in the past, and I haven't stuck to it because I kind of like, I love the accountability.
It's all you. There's nothing wrong with any of the people that I done. They're all great.
Yeah,
it's all me. Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like. And I see it from girls as well, and I know it in myself. You think you want something, or you're looking at people online, you're like, oh, I want that. And then when you get into it, you're like, do I actually really want that? And this is why it comes back to like your why. If your why is not strong enough, you're not going to stick to the plan. Like, you're just not, because you're like, do I actually want that? I'm grand the way I am. This happens to me. I'd be like, right, gonna go into this. And then I'd be thinking, no, I actually love making my recipes and I love this food. And then I'd be like, if I got a coach, I know I can't be as flexible with things. Like, when I'm making my reels and all, I'm kind of like, I'll have a little bit of that, I'll have a little bit of this. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I don't think, if I fully was to commit to a plan, I would need to be on that plan. Like, I trained with a girl before I did like a shoot in March. Now, it wasn't like
that was probably more strict, was it? No?
Well, I was meant to follow her plan, and I hold my hands up, like, I was not following her plan to a T. I was kind of like dipping in and out, and like it's just because I love food, and I feel like the training side of things I'm grand, but I love making my reels and I love making things. Not being funny, if I'm making a cheesy garlic bread, I'm tasting the cheesy garlic bread. I don't care if it's part of the plan or not, and that definitely comes down to my wife.
How many recipes a day would you make, like, for the videos? How would you plan out your content?
I see, that's another thing. I don't really plan my content. I kind of go with the flow. I do it on I find it like it's part of my job. So I do it on a daily basis. Now I'm committed. I post every single day. Like I haven't missed a day. Like I always post a reel. But
what do you mean by like?
So like I wouldn't look at someone's page for inspiration. I'd go on a walk for inspiration. Or like you would have seen my videos in Thailand. I'd be looking around the hotel room and I'm like, what can I find in here that I can talk about and relate it to something? So you would have seen one. I picked up like a bra that was way too tight and I compared it to being in like a really strict deficit, or else I'd pick up like my watermelon and I would start like describing how to be in a calorie deficit with the watermelon. Do you know, like I would kind of look for like ideas. So I feel like if I sat
would
down,
you make a video every day then?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So like this morning I made like a cheesy garlic
and was this
bread
the video
with
for
chicken.
Today then?
That would be for today, yeah.
What if you like, because do you not have a bit backed up around now?
Sometimes I save a few. So sometimes if I'm feeling real, like,
because like what if you were like, say you went on holidays or anything?
I did all of them on holidays when I was away though. I probably look like a weirdo. I brought my tripod and I have a tripod.
Yeah, I'm bringing one now.
I don't care who's looking at me in here. It's like, I'm going to do this because I'm helping. Like, I just find if you, like, okay, if you're taking a tripod just to be like, look at me, like, I can understand. Yeah. Right, maybe not, but
people don't realise a tripod is their source of income.
Yeah,
like that's how, like that tripod or them reels.
I was
or
in the
content.
7-Eleven in Thailand and I brought in my tripod because I didn't have somebody to do my supermarket video, and the girl was like, "Not allowed recording here." I was like, "It's okay."
Oh, in the supermarket.
Yeah, I was like, still put up the tripod, and I was like, I'm sure people probably like, what?
I got that. I was doing it.
Doing?
I got consistently into bringing it to the gym with me and like record myself. And I was obviously, you need to be posting all your like your life and what you're doing day to day. And someone came up to him and was like, you can't record that. And I was like, and then it kind of took me off. I haven't done it since because I just kind of was like thinking.
Well, I don't know if you've seen some of my shopping ones, but I was in my local shop.
I thought there was this you and a tripod?
No, so the ones in Thailand is me and a tripod because I was on my own in Thailand.
And you don't know anybody over there.
No, and I don't know anybody over there. So I'm like, even if you do say something, it's like, I'm never going to see you again. But in Tesco's, like I was doing it in Super Value, and the one that's next to my house, the security guard was literally like following me around shop. And I was like, I'm not actually doing anything wrong. But it's funny
because you're promoting their food.
Yeah, like it actually
if anything,
helps.
You were like that many views.
One of my videos went viral, and this sounds so silly, and I wish it was a bit more like a video with a bit more substance. It's always the ones that you really don't think anything of it. Remember at Christmas time they had those, is it a Camberley cheese or whatever it is, you know those cheeses you put in the oven and it all melts and you dip in your breads? I went to Marks and Spencer's and I think it was like 27 or 25 or something mad for cheese in Marks and Spencer's, and I took a video of it and I was like, this is mental, the price of this. And I went to Lidl and I found one for $4 something, and I brought home the one from Lidl and I got like 2 million views. And I was like, oh my God, because it was like insane, but they were sold out the next day. Everyone was commenting on it, tagging all their friends, not literally went viral. I was like,
the one in Lidl?
Yeah.
Went sold out?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. So
it's mad, you never know. But
so how many views did that video get then?
Like 2 million or something.
Oh my
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is just me talking about cheese. Like, people are mad.
Yeah, you're basically promoting their...
But I didn't mean to do that. And I always feel like if you constantly
And did they do anything, or do they text you or reach out around like
no,
did any of your actual shops actually text you to turn around?
Lidl, a girl from the buying department in Lidl messaged me before and she was like, can I just say that I work in the buying department and you came up as a topic of our conversation because of the protein pudding recipe. So before I started doing all the supermarket stuff, I was using protein puddings and I was making like loads of random things out of protein pudding.
Right, yeah.
And every day I was like, or not using every day, but I was picking a different, let's say like a sticky toffee or like a cookie, and I was coming up with all these mad recipes with a protein pudding, like trying to help people. But with the protein pudding, like you're getting your protein in and you can make a dessert for like 300 calories and it's satisfying and it tastes good. So I was doing those at the start and that obviously caught their attention, but no, they never sent me a voucher or anything like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like they messaged me, but they never did anything like that. But I'm sure it's only a protein pump from Lidl anyway.
Yeah, but still, you're promoting their food.
Yeah,
it's free promotion. Like.
Yeah, I've often got brands message me, but I just don't like when people promote things that they actually don't believe in it. Like, I actually thought it was funny the other day because I was in Tesco's and I was trying to help people, and I was saying like my own opinion on like foods that like I think are rated, like in terms of like, are they overrated or are they underrated? And one of them was meal preps, right? And I think for people who don't have time to prep their food, they're grand. But I think if you have time, you can get more for your bulk if you make your own foods. And in one of my videos, I actually had the meal prep company, and they obviously didn't look down on my content because it's funny because 2 weeks later, they messaged me being like, can we send you some stuff? I was like, this just goes to show that you're not even looking at what somebody, like, why would you be sending, like, imagine, right, somebody telling their followers that they don't like something, me as a coach or blah, blah, and then me messaging them being like, hey, do you want some free coaching? Like, I just don't think that sometimes people care. I think they just see followers.
So you put it up as you didn't like the.
So I'm not against meal prep companies. I've used them myself, right? And I think if you're in a rush, they're amazing. And I think for the person who doesn't know how to cook or anything like that, happy days, use the meal prep company. And I tell my clients all the time to keep some of the fit meals in the freezer to stop themselves from getting a takeaway, just to have as a backup plan.
What way would you prep your food then? Would you prep for 3 days, a week?
I work at home, don't say I do my check-in. So for me, I love cooking, so I make food every day. But that suits me. I understand.
And then that's your content.
People, and I understand that some people that doesn't suit them, and I totally get that. And that's why I'm like, if you want to have a meal prep company, have it. But if you can cook your own food, you can cook it for 3 days and you can get way more than what you get in those little packets. Some of them I just think are tiny. Now, Dublin's actually so much better than Dubai for meal prep companies. So, because I remember some of them in Dubai, oh my God, like it's so expensive. I think they're actually like okay here, like they're reasonable, like priced. Like there's a couple of meal prep companies here, and the food actually tastes nice. Like I genuinely think the ones in Ireland actually taste nice.
Yeah,
like the fit meals are lovely, and I've had a couple and they are lovely. Like, but I just think that you can get more foods if you want it. But obviously, if you're trying to stick to your macros and your calories and convenience, go for them. But that's just my opinion. But I just thought it was funny that the company didn't look on it and then was wanting to send them. Like I actually just didn't reply.
They probably wanted to send you some, like to you,
maybe to
change your mind.
No, because I don't think there's anything wrong with them or the taste. I actually think they taste lovely. Like,
right, I thought you meant as in like you put up a video. No,
I did. I put up a video saying like I didn't rate them.
Right,
but I did. But I explained why. I didn't say in terms of taste or calories or anything like that. I was just saying like I feel like they're very small in the inside. I don't know if you've ever got the ones from Tesco's and stuff and you open them. It's a very small portion for 500, 600 calories. Like I just think like for somebody who's trying to lose weight, if they can make their own food at home, they can get way more food for the same amount of calories. That's all I was saying. I wouldn't say like there's anything bad with them. Like I don't think that, but I just think you can get more.
So what would your week look like from Monday to Sunday? Like what was it?
So I probably work every day. Recently I said to my girls that like on a Sunday I'm gonna start taking Sundays off, like as in responding to people, because when you're managing,
100 people to respond to. No, I'd say your phone is like, I just want my internet off. I'm trying to do something on the laptop because I can't focus.
See, I feel like because I say that I provide full support, I have to live up to that. Like so, like I like to give people support, and as I said at the start, I don't feel like the questions are down to just like training and nutrition. Like sometimes it's somebody is struggling, like, do you know what I mean? And like I want to be there to help them. Like honestly, never got into this for trying to earn loads of money or anything like that. Like I don't really care about anything like that. I genuinely want to help people, and I want people to understand that they can actually eat normal foods and lose weight, because I feel like that's what people don't understand. They keep thinking that they need to cut everything out to lose weight. So like what I try to say to people is I like to give them as much flexibility as possible on the plan. So I'm like, you can go by the recipes that I've given you or the calories and the macros. The main thing is to be in a calorie deficit, so it doesn't really matter which you pick. But now my week from Monday to Friday, I recently started in CrossFit. So I usually go to CrossFit in the morning, and then I usually train again.
You started CrossFit?
Possible. Yeah, because I feel like I want to be stronger. Like I feel like I can train myself and all in the gym and do like my resistance training and all, and that's grand. But I just think looking at those people,
I'd be shitting to do that. I'd feel like I'd like break me back. I don't know, when I see them, like, is it jerking? It's what it's called.
Yeah, they do all those cleans and everything, and it looks like
and it's like lifting up and then you just jump, and then I'd feel like
it feels a bit weird at the start, but like I was in
you're probably doing like tiny little weights
last week, and I was doing it there, and it was amazing. Like, it's just cool to go to different gyms around the world and try it, and try like, see, the thing with CrossFit is it's like a community, so like
it's expensive as well, isn't it?
Well, I actually think it's all right.
Do you not have to pay for like a membership or something?
So I pay at the moment. I pay like, I think is a 70 for 10 classes. So like, that's all right.
Yeah,
that's grand. And in Thailand, it's like 12 a class, and in Marbella it was 15 a class.
I'd love to see all the classes for boxing in Thailand. They look
it's amazing.
Have you done all them?
Yeah, but I'm crap at it. Oh my god, I had all. I
have no coordination.
No, see, like at the start, and he's breaking it down, and he's like, you do this, that, grand. Then when he starts putting it all together, it's like, and then the little Thai people are looking at me being like, is she not getting this? And I remember I did it for the first time I went to Thailand. I did it for 6 weeks straight, and I did it nearly every day, and I didn't get any better. Like, I just don't know what was wrong with me. It was like I just had no coordination.
Yeah,
at
that's
least
what
with the CrossFit, I feel like I'm actually improving when I'm going to it.
Me and one of the girls went and done it, like, it was just like a boxercise class and swords in the gym, and the two of us are like,
it's fun though.
Yeah, but then he was like, it's like, was it the same? And like, if you went and done it in Thailand, like, he was like over, under, and we're like, the two of us are like,
in Thailand, it's like the Muay Thai,
like,
you do,
proper
so you
boxing,
do your kicking as well. But it's heads. Like,
the two of us are like, wait, what hands do we do that? And we were like, oh my god.
And you see the little kids, and they're like 3 or 4 doing that, not about it, and remembering all the little bits, and I'm his knee, and I haven't got a clue. So but yeah, that's my week. I just work and train, really, like, and make videos, food videos. I just love foods. I feel like that's all I like doing. Like, that's why when you're like, oh, do you do loads of content in one day? Sometimes I actually just like making it. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, make that today, and then you're not wasting it as well. My dad's my guinea pig. It's just me and my dad in the house. Well, and my sister was there like the odd time as well, but I just be like, Dad, eat this, and he's very honest. He's like, there's too much sauce in that, or he's like, that's too spicy, or he's like, I remember.
Did you ever make it and it's actually rotten? Because you obviously everyone who makes videos at the end of it, they're all like, oh, massive banging or whatever. Have you ever made it and you're like,
I made fish once, and I thought the fish tasted nice, right? And I was like, this is so good, and it did shit on Instagram, like, it just didn't do well at all. I remember showing my dad, and he was like, Lauren, obviously, he was like, look at it. And I was like, what do you mean? And you know the way you always think your own stuff is quite good, or it's like if you're eating it on, you're kind of like,
what was it now? I'm like, oh no.
It was like cod curry or something, and I had like the Mayflower curry sauce and the peas and the cod, and I thought it was nice, and my dad's like, that looks disgusting. He was like, no, I wonder why, but my dad's very honest. My dad's tell you, he'd be like, no, that's crap, Lauren. Do that again. I was like, all right. And he's very like, it's just like exactly the same goes for like the stuff from like the shops and all. He was like, you're kind of looking away, because I remember at the start, like, people don't get, like, when you start to record yourself, you're going to be shit at the start, and you have to take the backlash.
I was only saying,
but if you're going to Tesco's and you're recording yourself, everyone's looking at you, so sometimes your eyes are going like that, or you're a bit
I can see it in some of your videos, you're like,
I'm like, oh, who's that? But I feel like the more you do it, the more you're kind of like, right, and you're in the zone, and you kind of forget about it. And I think, I don't know what it is, everybody's slagging at everybody with those mics now, but honestly, having a mic makes you feel a little bit more like you know what you're doing. I feel like if you have the Rode mics, you know, when people have those, I think it makes you look a little bit more professional, and you're more like, right, I'm literally not just here just picking out things for the crack. Like,
and if someone's recording you from a bit miles out and it's noisy, like, the mics makes everything better. I have one of them as well.
I think they're great.
Yeah.
I think leave everyone to it though. I don't see what the issue is.
Yeah, like, it's just people that don't get it. I just come here. They're in a world of their own. They're going to be staying in that.
And I actually think bubble. That in Dublin, people are just so critical. Like, honestly, like in Dubai, everybody is a tripod.
But most of the time, the people that are judging are the people that are jealous. Yeah. Do you know that? Like, it's come here. I'm not even. I don't even care anymore.
No, I think it's funny. I think it's mad. I think like some people just, like, I would be lying if I said it didn't get you sometimes. Like, sometimes the comments you get from people makes you question things, and I'd be down.
Every time I got a comment, it was from outfellas on men.
Or they don't have a profile picture.
Yeah, it was like one of them was like, his name was like This Lad. I actually don't even care if I'm saying this in a TikTok thing. This Lad and his profile picture was a pint of Guinness. And it was like a load of girls that done a FOSS course that thinking they can be an entrepreneurs and all this. Like mad shit. And I'm just kind of like, this lad, go and enjoy our fucking pint of Guinness. Like what? Like it's all comments from fellas.
I've had really weird things before though that kind of like freaked me out though. Like I've had people be like, so for example, when I was away the weekends and I'd have people being like, I was on my own and people were like, what hotel are you staying in? What hotel are you staying in? And I'm like, how are you going to start
texting you constantly saying that?
Yeah, weird. Like so weird. And then I had one guy before being like, this is so
get all
weird.
of them messages saying sugar baby and shit.
Yeah, but there's security camera on my gate at home, right? And it's connected to my dad's phone.
Don't tell me there was someone else.
No, listen, this is so weird. So let's say like in the back of my video, you can see the screens, the security cameras, and some guy actually commented on one of my videos on TikTok before being like, can you not see the man on your security camera staring into your house? Like wrote this thing and I was like, oh my God, that's so weird.
Wait, what?
So like, I just don't know what goes through people's heads. So let's say I had a video up, nothing got to do with the security cameras. The security cameras are just in the kitchen. It's like a screen so we can see the postman or whatever, right? On the gates. My dad has his work vans at home. That's all it's for. And
there's a lot of stuff, tails and stuff.
Yeah, and basically, let's say we had the screen up in the backgrounds and someone commented in the comments on my video being like, can you not see the man on the screen? And like this were
and was there someone there?
I don't know, I never looked back, but I would have looked back.
Like, oh
my God, get rid of that comments. I was like, he's a weirdo. I got into the habit of deleting some of the comments because I'm just like,
yeah, but don't. That's, you know what? People that are commenting under your videos. Weirdos. They're the ones that are making your post do better because Instagram's like, oh, more people are interested in this post. No, they're only doing you a favour. They don't like, do you know what I mean? They don't like it, unfollow you. Don't look at it.
There's full-on debates in my comments of people who follow me attacking them back. As in, like, if you read it sometimes.
That's what like, you want. I had
debates. I'd be like, this is mental.
Yeah, I done a video of what you could potentially earn, like, in the beauty industry. And they were, like, it's done really well now, but, like, the rants underneath from it, and I was just like, come here, you're only doing my video a favour.
It's the more you have a view on something, the more people
it did kind of got to me for a few minutes. I was just kind of like, oh my God. But then I was like, no.
I actually think, Demi, right, no matter what, if someone tells you, okay, it shouldn't get to you, or this is part of growing or part of social media, if you're a normal person, like if you have a heart, it's obviously going to get to you. Even if you're telling everybody it's not getting to you. I don't believe anybody who says that nothing ever gets to them has to at some stage. Obviously, you can block it out, but there's only so much you can block out, and then you're like, okay, hang on a minute, like, and then you just are like, right, I know that person is irrelevant, but it's still, sometimes it definitely still affects it and still makes you question things. I feel like it has to at some stage, otherwise it will never hurt. But sometimes I feel like some of the comments are funny, like as well. Like I get like the most randomest things. I actually be a bit laughing, like let's say I was cutting my chicken breast with a bread knife, but I actually don't know why I like cutting chicken with bread knives, and I've done it for years because the squiggly bits.
Yeah, why does anyone even care?
Like, I don't know, but I'm like, I'm not a chef, like, guys.
Oh, sorry, you're not cutting your steak with a steak knife. Like,
yeah,
what?
like what is going on here? But
some people butter their bread with a spoon.
Yeah, I'm actually weird with spoons. I can only have my oats with a baby spoon, and even if I go to a restaurant, I can only eat them with a baby spoon.
So would you ask for one?
Yeah, and they're probably like, "What is she doing?" I'm so weird. Even when I'm away, I'm weird in restaurants, so I'm sure they think I'm so annoying. I have to get things separately all the time sometimes because I just don't
like your
like
sauce,
it mixed together.
your veg, everything. Don't tell me different plates.
Like let's say if I went
different sections.
If
of the
I
plate,
went right and I was getting porridge somewhere, like oats or something, I'd ask them to put the scoop of protein in a cup, like separate the powder.
Yeah, where would you even half the time you ask them for a scoop of protein? They don't even give it to you.
I was doing it all the time in Thailand now, but they actually do it here as well if you ask. Like if you ask, so like say if there's something on the menu like porridge and things, you know, in like FIFA cafe and stuff like that, you know, like those. Because
there was a place that I used to go to. Not even.
Because I just don't like it mixed in together. It's so weird. I like pouring
you have to do it yourself.
I don't know why. It's so strange. And I know they look at you sometimes, they're like, what is she doing? But honestly, it makes sense to me. So I'm like, oh, that's what I do. I don't know, weird. I say I'm an antichrist to go to a restaurant with.
Thanks for coming on, Lauren. So if anyone's looking out to reach out or do online coaching, where can they find you?
So there's loads of different ones. You can go to TikTok and it's Lean with Lauren. I know that sounds a bit weird. And it's the same for my Instagram, and then it's PT as well, but I hate saying that, like Lauren Scully's PT. I don't know why I put it like that. Now I feel like it's after sticking, and I wish to say PT.
I never even knew it was Liam with Lauren. I just looked up Lauren Scully. Is that not your actual name on Instagram, Lauren Scully? No,
I have two. So the first one is that PT, and then the second one on my TikTok is the Liam with Lauren. I kind of wish it was all the same, but I feel like the TikTok's kind of after sticking now, the Liam with Lauren, and that's my website and stuff. So I don't know. There's two different names. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you're looking to reach out, you can find me at Unlock Potential Podcast on Instagram or at demisnailsandbeauty.ie. See you next time.